right. Okay. Welcome. Thanks everyone for being here, in person and on Zoom. So let's begin. We can take our thumbs, tuck our thumbs into our fingers, and we can just arrive here together, taking a few moments, bringing our awareness to the three treasures, as we always do. And the three treasures are the Jing, the Qi, and the Shen, the body, the breath, and the mind. And just taking a few moments with each one of them. And you can begin wherever you'd like. I often begin with the body, just because it's kind of the most obvious thing to me. And so if you'd like to do that as well, you can just bring your awareness to your sensations of your alignment in any areas in your body that feel maybe uncomfortable or comfortable. Jing, in the macrocosmic context, corresponds to the earth, so you can also feel into the ground beneath you. And you can allow the awareness of your body and the earth to help you to ground. Maybe tuning into the weight of your body and of your bones. The sounds that are going on around you, the sensation of your clothes against your skin. All of these things are invitations to arrive here, to wake up. And as you're tuning into your body, noticing what you notice, we can expand our awareness to include the second treasure, the breath. And just maybe taking some time to breathe a little slower, a little deeper. Just feel how the breath moves through your body. How the breath may even help to ease some of the areas that might feel a little uncomfortable, a little tight or stuck. How the breath might be able to move into the places where there is ease and spaciousness and expand those. As you breathe and the breath moves through your body, it will reveal more of your body to you. So just being with that, being with what arises. And as it arises and the breath moves through, it may change. And so being with the change. In the macrocosmic context, the breath, the qi, corresponds to life, to the biofield. And so as you breathe, perhaps taking a moment to acknowledge that everyone on earth is breathing the same air, the same breath. Maybe pondering, are we breathing? Are we being breathed? Are we taking breaths? Or are we receiving breaths? As you attend to the breath moving through the body, perhaps pondering things, we can notice our minds, notice the focus of our minds. And also noticing our intention. What is your intention? Being embodied and breathing. What do you intend to do with that? Remembering your intention, or purpose, interest. Allowing that to be a resource and a motivation for attending to your body and your breath. Is attending to your body and your breath in service of your intention? If your interest wanes, you can align it with your intention. Or realign it with your intention. Why cultivate awareness, presence? What's your intention for doing that? Allow that to be a source of motivation and even a refuge in the face of what sometimes feels like overwhelming complexity. How can our intention help to recenter us and ground us? And as you're ready, we can bring our hands together and rub our palms together. Generate a little bit of heat in the hands, continuing to attend and attune to our body and our alignment and the movement of our breath and the focus of our minds. And we can take a nice deep breath in and shake it out. Rubbing the palms, massaging the hands, feeling how things feel. How do you feel? Doesn't have to be any kind of way, doesn't have to be good or relaxed, happy or sad. It can be all of it at the same time. And then we can bring our hands to our faces and let's massage up and out. And if doing this doesn't feel good, feel free to adjust how you're doing it. Find a way that feels meaningful, that feels helpful, that feels supportive. then a deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together, breathing deeply. We can take our fingertips and we can run them over our scalp. You can go front to back or back and forth or however else feels good. Feels supportive. And as you're ready, your hands can slide down the back of the neck and around the base. And then a nice deep breath in and out. Shaking it out, relaxing, rubbing the palms together and breathing. And then let's take the base of the left hand in between the eyebrows and gently draw your hand across. And off to the side. Changing sides, doing the same thing with the right hand. Take your time. Feel. Why are we doing this? There is an acupoint in between the eyebrows. It relates to the pineal gland. They've done research on this acupoint, and when it's stimulated, the body produces endorphins, which help to calm the mind, calm the nervous system, alleviate pain, elevate the mood. And that's all great, but even more than any of that, it's just about paying attention to what's going on, which might not be relaxed nervous systems or pain relief. Whatever is there, it's about just noticing that, letting that be what it is, giving it the space to be what it is. And when things exist in space, they change. Whenever you finish with whichever hand you're doing, you can take a breath in and shake it out, rubbing the palms together and breathing. Let's take the edge of our thumbs on either side of our nose and we can massage up to the inner corners of the eyes and down to the base of the nose, moving back and forth between those spots, however slow or fast you would like to. If it feels better to hang out at one or other of those spots, you can, or anywhere in between. And the invitation is to breathe through the nose, to stimulate and activate the sinuses, to help clear the eyes, and again, when you're ready, deep breath in, shake it out, rub the palms together. Let's place our thumbs on the corners of our mouths, one hand below, one hand above, and we can draw back and forth, massaging the lips and the gums, generating saliva. helping to bridge the Renmai and the Du-mai, stimulating the stomach meridian and the liver meridian, the Yin Wei Mai, the Yin Chao Mai, the Chong Mai, so many things. And we don't need to know about any of them for it to happen. Deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together. Breathing. Noticing, remembering your intention. And let's take our palms and make forward circles over our ears. And then a deep breath in and out. And rubbing the palms together. Breathing with the whole body. How does it feel to breathe with your whole body? Let's massage our shoulders, beginning with the left hand up to the right shoulder, and then the other side. Just alternating side to side. Letting gravity do most of the work. And bringing some of our attention to our hand as it swings up to our shoulder. Just see if that, by paying attention, if that changes, like how your hand lands on your shoulder, how it feels, the sound that it makes, how the vibration travels through your body. I mean, we do know that light particles behave differently when we look at them. And we are water-soluble light particles. So what happens when we look at ourselves, when we pay attention to ourselves? What changes? We know that clearer, more organized fields override and reorganize less clear, less organized fields. So bringing attention to something, looking at it, attending to it is a clear and organized field. And maybe a body or a shoulder or a hand that we don't tend to pay attention to, that might be a little disorganized. So let's organize it. What happens? Do one more on each side. Deep breath in. Shake it out. Rub the palms. Breathe. Let's open our chests. So we'll bring our right fingertips into a beak. Find the bottom of the left collarbone and slide out into the hollow space. Take the left fingertips into a beak, find the bottom of the right rib cage, and just follow it down until you drop into a little notch. And then we'll tap both of those spots and maybe make small circles in each one of those spots. Feel what's there, what each spot feels like. Maybe taking the time to feel into the space in between these two spots. Breathe deeply in between these two spots. Fill up your chest. And not only the front of the rib cage, but see if you can breathe all the way through to the back side of the rib cage, where each one of these spots would be if they extended through to your back, and fill that space with your breath. How does it feel? And tap as gently or as vigorously as you would like. Keep breathing. And as you're ready, you can transition to open palms and then just massaging these two areas. Continuing to breathe deeply, continuing to feel the breath move into and through this area. And then let's change sides. Left fingertips under the right collarbone, sliding out into the hollow space. Right fingertips to the bottom of the left rib cage. Trace it down until you find a little notch. And then gently tap. And tapping all the way through to the back side of the ribs. Breathing deeply in between these 2 points and into each of these points. Our heart is like the sun. Our lungs are like the clouds. Sometimes the little clouds can be really nice. Sometimes there can feel like there's too many clouds. So finding the balance. Breathing. Feeling what's there. Allowing it to be. Allowing it to change. And then you can massage these 2 points. Continuing to breathe and to feel. And then a deep breath in. Shake it out. Rub the palms together. Let's take our hands over our lower ribs and we can massage the lower ribs onto the belly. Maybe one hand comes over the chest while the other hand is over the belly. And if you'd like, you can then switch which hand is on top and which hand is on bottom. If you'd like, you can bring your hands together and make circles over your belly in one direction and in the other direction. See if one direction feels better than the other direction. Do what feels better. And then we can move our hands around our waist to our lower back, our kidneys, lumbar spine, lower ribs, SI joint, posterior hip bones. And when you're ready, let's draw the hands out. Shake them out. Rub the palms together. Breathe. Just attend to the breath as it moves through your body. Feel where it moves, where it doesn't. And then let's massage our arms, beginning with the left arm. A little tap to the fingertips and then up the outside, down the inside. Going with the flow. Going at whatever speed you'd like to go at. You can try different things. And let's go up one more time and then down. Changing sides, we'll tap the fingertips up the outside, down the inside. How does this feel? Could it feel better? If it could, find a way of doing that so that it feels better. Like, what are we doing? We're tracing the meridians. We're tracing the yang meridians from the outside to the fingertips, up the arm, into the body. We're tracing the yin meridians from the chest, out to the fingertips, to the outside. We're facilitating an exchange of inside and outside. How does that feel? And then up one more time. Down, deep breath in and out. Rubbing the palms together, and we can bring our feet out in front of us. And we can use our thumbs to massage the bottom of our feet. If you'd like, you can use your fingers to work in between the long bones on the top of the foot. You can milk your toes. You can squeeze and massage the edge of your foot that's facing up towards you. And then as you'd like, you can follow the funnel down to the bottom of the feet. Just applying pressure onto that point on the deepest hollow of the bottom of the foot. The name of the point is Yong Chuan, which means the bubbling spring, the primordial ooze. And then from here, we can draw our hands up the inside of the legs and the thighs, and then around the hips and down the outside. Again, going with the flow. Facilitating the movement of qi from the outside to the inside, from the inside to the outside. And one more time, up and around and down and out. Big breath in. Shake Take it out. Rubbing the palms together. Continuing to breathe, to align the body, to focus the mind, to remember or recall your intention for being here, for doing this. Let's bring our thumbs back into our fingers. Let our hands rest on our thighs and feel our alignment between the heavens above and the earth below. Breathe that connection through your body. Breathe the heavens down through your body into the earth. Breathe the earth up through your body out into the heavens. Let that be the focus of your mind. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Right. Thank you. Any questions about anything?
What's the notch you're talking about?
On the rib cage? So if you go down, it's usually about kind of in line with like where the nipple line would be. You know, following the bottom of the rib cage down, it's about like the area of the 10th rib, you know, because it's like that's kind of where there's a little notch and the ribs are kind of coming into some cartilage there rather than onto the sternum.
So the ribs kind of do a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's almost like where the edge of our abdomen is coming up and making contact with the rib also. It's like it's just like a little vortex. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Well, let's do some Qigong then. So I wanted to do some simple kind of warm-up movements. Maybe actually kind of 2 sets of some warm-up movements, we'll see, and then we'll just jump into the Ma Huang Dui Qigong that we've been doing for a while and see how far along we get with that. So that's my plan. We'll see what happens. And anyone on Zoom is always welcome to ask any questions at any time. So we can find ourselves in a comfortable standing posture, and we can take a few moments to just align in a standing posture. So the screen is tilted. Sometimes I think I'm a little CDO, which is OCD, but alphabetized. All right. So, standing, if you'd like to lift your toes off the ground, let your knees soften so that your feet can spread, and really find the hard parts of the bottom of your feet. If you need to lean forward and backward so that you can really find your big toe mound, find your heel, find your pinky edge, and finding that pinky edge and outside edge of the foot, it may require you to, almost like you're spreading the floor apart in between your feet. And so initially, this may feel very active, almost even a little bit of strain in the legs. It's like really working. But we're doing that to find it. We're amplifying so that we can feel what it is we're looking for. And as we find it, then we can play with backing off of the effort or the exertion, but see if we can maintain that contact. staying rooted through the outer edges of the feet, staying grounded through our heel bones. I find when I do this, the big toe mound is bearing less weight than the outer edge of the foot and the heel. But it allows me to be a little bit more dynamic if I need to be as I'm standing here. So very rooted and grounded, but also very responsive. So soft knees, feeling the legs, feeling into the hips and the pelvis, allowing the breath to drop deep into the body. As you breathe, really bring the breath into the lower back rib cage. And take a deep breath and see if you can almost lift your back lower ribs up off of your lower back, which may come all the way up into the base of the skull. So the back of the lower ribs lifts with the breath, lifting and spreading. The base of the skull is lifting and spreading as we inhale deeply into the back side of the body, getting wide with our breath. And then exhaling. And when you exhale, not relaxing and collapsing into the exhale, but seeing if you can maintain some of that space that you may have discovered on the inhalation. So again, inhaling big into the lower ribs, lifting and spreading through the base of the skull, getting wide, creating all this space, this lift, this expansion. And as you exhale, see if you can maintain some of that. And that by maintaining it, you may feel the abdomen engages a little bit. The lower dantian engages. You hear that a lot with Qigong. What does that mean? That's what it means in the physical sense. Having a stable center, a stable core, rooted, grounded, expansive, lifted, all of that. That's having an engaged lower dantian in a physical sense and a more than physical sense. So let's do a very simple warm-up, very simple movements. I don't think we've ever done these in this class before. They're called the 10 mindful movements. And they come from the tradition of Thich Nhat Hanh. He did Qigong too. So, nice and easy. On the inhale, just let your arms float up, palms down about shoulder level, and like you're reaching forward through your fingertips as well as back through the back side of the body, and then exhale. We'll do that a couple more times. In. Stretch forward through your fingertips. Lean back into your heels and the back of the body. Exhale. Again, in. Harmonizing the breath and the movement. Out. One more time. In. Stretching the fingertips and the back of the body away from each other. Out. Pause and take a breath. This time, leading with the thumb and the index finger. Inhale all the way up. Reach your hands up overhead, reach down through your feet, stretch in both directions, and then exhale. Harmonizing the breath and the movement. Inhaling. Stretch. Exhale. Again, leading with the thumbs and the index finger. Inhaling. Reaching the fingertips up into the sky, extending the feet down into the earth. Exhale. One more time. Stretching. Exhale. We can bring our hands now out to the sides, fingertips onto the shoulders. And the elbows can be wherever is comfortable, fingertips touching. On your inhale, inhale and open your arms out, stretching out to the sides. And then exhale, fingertips come back to the shoulders. Blooming like a flower, inhale. Stretching the breath, exhale. 2 more times, in and out. 1 more time, in, stretch, out. The hands can come down, we can breathe. It's really cute when Thich Nhat Hanh is leading this practice as we're moving through the movements. Sometimes he'll say, you might like to smile. So at any time, if you like to smile, please do. So bring the palms together out in front of you. And we're going to inhale the hands up and open. Stretch. And then exhale, making big circles all the way around till the palms come back together. And now go the other way. So inhale down and out. Inhaling. And then exhaling as the hands come down and the palms come together. That's 1. Inhale up. Opening, stretching. Exhale as you come around and palms come together. Inhale the other way. Stretching and exhale. 2. Inhaling up. Stretching, exhaling. And the other way, inhaling. All the way up. Exhaling. You might like to smile. 1 more time, inhale up. Stretch. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then pause for a breath. We can take our feet a little bit wider. Our hands can rest on our hips, and we're going to hinge at the hips, just as far as is comfortable. So we're at a kind of 90-degree angle, bent at the hips. We're going to lead with our head. And so I'll mirror you. We'll go towards the mirrors first. So inhale towards the mirrors with your upper body, and then coming up and around, and then exhale on your way back down, coming back to the beginning. Now the other way. Inhale towards the windows, coming up, and then exhaling, and bending just as deeply as feels comfortable. Back to the mirrors. Inhale, exhale. Stay within your comfort zone. Towards the windows, inhale. Exhale. That's 2. Towards the mirrors, in. Take your time, breathe. Exhaling. Windows, in. And out. 1 more time, towards the mirrors. In. And out. Towards the windows. In. And out. Coming back up to stand, take a breath. You can bring your feet a little closer together. Okay, next we'll bring our heels together and the feet apart like you're making a V. And your heels don't have to be right touching, but they're close. And this one, it challenges the balance just a little bit. So be easy with yourself, stay within your zone of comfort. So the hands can come on the hips, and we're going to inhale coming off the heels. Exhale, stay off your heels and bend your knees as low as you can go. And then inhale up, staying off the heels. Exhale, like a frog. In, stretch up through your heels, and out, heels stay up. One more. And out. Inhale. And then exhale. Pause for a breath. Something for all of us to work on. Next movement, we're going to inhale the hands up, stretching up overhead. And then exhale, hinge your hips back, weight in the heels as you come down as low as is comfortable, touching the earth, and then inhaling up through the thumbs and index fingers. Stretch and exhale, folding forward. In and out. In and out. Last time, inhale up. And then exhale. Take a breath. Maybe 2 or 3 breaths. Next movement. Hands on the hips. This is another one. We will be standing on one foot. You can just bring your foot up as high as is comfortable, even if your toe just stays on the ground the whole time. We are going to be doing something that looks like that. But if you want to come up higher, you can. It's helpful to have a point on the ground you're focusing on. If you need to hold on to something, if that's available to you, you can do that. So we'll begin with the mirror leg. We'll inhale up, toe pointed down, exhale out. Inhale, toe pointed down, exhale. Switching sides. Inhale, toe points down, exhale, toe points out. Inhale, toe down, exhale. 1, in, out. In and out. Harmonizing the movement and the breath. In, out, in, and out. Nice and easy. In, out, in, and out. Coming up just as high as is comfortable. In and out. One more each side. In, out. In and out. Relax and take a breath. Next movement. Hands on the hips again. And I'll mirror you, so starting with the mirror foot, you can shift the weight to the window side leg and send your foot out in front and then draw a circle out and around, and your foot comes past the midline and can just rest on the ground. And then bring it out and around and back. And so shifting sides, we inhale, out, around, exhale. In, out. Harmonize the movement and the breath. Breathing is the most important. In, out. Take your time. In and out. In, out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time on this side. In. Out. In. Out. Take a breath. Now let's take a wide stance. The window foot can face forward. The mirror foot will turn out. So we've got a 90-degree angle between our feet. Our window hand can be on our window hip. The mirror hand will come across. So the palm, the back of the palm is facing away. As we inhale, sweep the arm up. You can bend into that front knee. Arm comes up overhead, your palms facing out. And then exhale. Hands comes down and back across to the window hip. Inhale. Stretch. Exhale. In. Stretching. Out. In. And out. Bring your mirror foot to face forward. Window foot turns out. Mirror hand on the mirror hip. Window hand comes across to the mirror hip. And then we'll inhale, leaning into that front knee. Palm faces away as it's up overhead. And exhale. Bend as deeply as you'd like into your knee. Inhale. Stretching. Exhale. Two more. In. And out. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Foot faces forward. You can gather everything up, step the feet together. And just take a few moments. Feel your feet on the ground, soft knees. 3 points of contact on the bottom of the feet. Breathe and lift and spread your lower ribs and the base of your skull away from your hips, heels. Good. Let's take a slightly wider stance. Bring your palms back to back and inhale up. Exhale out. Knees can bend. Two more. Palms back to back. In and out. One more. In and out. Let the hands float up in front of the lower dantian. And rest here for a moment. Check in with your alignment. And so you can bring the shoulders up and back and down, relaxing the shoulders, making sure they're not rounded forward, but back, shoulder blades settled on the back of the rib cage. Arms in alignment with the body, not so much forward, just hanging by the sides. Heavy elbows, heavy pinkies, weightless thumbs and index fingers. Knees moving away from each other. Elbows like you're gently holding elevator doors apart. Breathe into the back side of the rib cage, lift the base of the skull. As you get all this loft and lift and width, see if you can maintain it as you exhale. On your next inhale, hands float up to the heart. Exhale, press out. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, send your hips back. Hinging at the hips, the hands reach down. Bend your knees. Arms float out in front of you. Knees spread apart from each other and then press through your feet to stand up. Exhale your hands down through the front of the body. Inhale, press your hands down. Lift through the base of your skull. Exhale. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale like you're pushing yourself up, over a wall. Stretch. Exhale. Inhale, pressing down through the hands, down through the shoulders, down through the feet, lifting yourself up and exhale. 2 more. In, stretch, and out. Last one. And out. The hands can float down to the level of the hips. Taking a breath. On your next inhale, chop your hips back. So inhaling the arms out. Keep inhaling as they circle around out in front. Hips and hands reaching away. And then exhale, hips and hands towards each other. Inhale. Stretch like you're grabbing something. Exhale. Inhale. Reaching the hips back away from the hands. Exhale. In. Out. 2 more. Inhale the hands out to the sides. Exhale, hands down, palms back to back. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Keeping the arms out at about shoulder level. Bend the elbows as much as you need. Let your elbow or your shoulders relax. Reach the back of the palms away from each other, stretching in both directions. Lift the base of the skull away from the neck and shoulders. Breathe the lower ribs away from the lower back. Press through your heels. It's so much work. And then exhale. Inhale, stretch. Out. 1 more. In. Out. And then like you made a ball in between your hands, just kind of find this ball in between your hands and take the ball, point it at your lower dantian. And then if you need to, you can roll your shoulders up and back and down. Settle the shoulder blades down onto the back side of the body. Lift the base of the skull up and away from the neck, rooting into the outer edges of the feet, spreading the floor apart in between your legs. Breathing into the back lower rib cage. Get wide, hold your elevator doors apart with your elbows. See if you can exhale and engage the lower dantian by just maintaining all that space you got on your inhale. On your next inhalation, float the arms out in front. And then exhale, bring them around to the back side of the body. And almost like you're supporting the back side of the lower dantian. Not squeezing the shoulder blades together too tight, but they are moving towards each other. But seeing if you can breathe in between the shoulder blades. Lift the base of the skull away from the neck. So we don't want a kinked neck. We want length, lifting up and back through the base of the neck. The chin might tuck a little bit. Breathe into your lower rib cage. Breathe into the area where your hands are. On your next inhalation, inhale the hands up to the ribs. Exhale, send it out. Inhale, gather up. Exhale out. This is our spring liver cleanse. Inhale. Out. In. The hands up through the lower back. Bring your fingertips, your middle fingertips, to the sides of the ribs and see if you can reach your elbows away from each other towards the walls on either side. Breathe into the sides of your rib cage, like push your fingers away with your breath. Get that stretch on the side of the body. Lift through the rib cage. See if you can maintain that lift as you exhale. It's hard. Inhale. One more time, big breath in, and then out. Whoa. Let it go. Take a breath. Exhale, let your hands come to the level of the third eye. Breathing. See if you can relax your shoulders. Feel supported by the earth. The earth helps you to extend up into the sky. Calm your breathing. Long, slow exhalation. On your next inhale, open the third eye. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale out and up. Exhale, middle fingers and ring fingers to Bai Hui at the top of the head. Again, if your shoulders are up, see if you can relax them down. Breathing down through the body, through Bai Hui. And let the hands float over the midline, down the front of the body, till the fingertips come to rest in front of the heart and the heart center. Elbows are relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. Breathing into your heart. And not just in the front of the chest. Breathe behind the heart, in between the shoulder blades. Press the back of the palms together and then roll the palms together. Turn the fingertips to point down. Stretching the wrists. Send the hands down over the lower dantian. Fold one hand over the other. Breathing under your hands into your lower belly. Allow the breath to sink deep into the body. Let your knees be unlocked. Let your weight be more in your heels and the outer edges of your feet than in the balls of your feet. Lift through the base of the skull and the back lower ribs as you inhale. As you exhale, see if you can maintain just a little bit of that lift. Bring the hands around the hips and then down. Fingertips can be towards the ground. We'll begin Ma Huang Dui. fingertips point forward. Exhale here. Inhale, spread your wings. Turn your fingertips back behind you. Open your shoulder joint. And then exhale. Inhale, roll your fingers in. Exhale. Fingertips stay forward. Inhale, open. Exhale. In and out. One more time. In. Out. In. And out. Relax the hands. Take a breath. The hands can float up in front of the face like you're holding a ball, and we'll make the sound kai, which means open, and ha, which means harmonize. Inhale. Kai. Shift the weight towards the mirrors, pivot the window foot, send your hands out towards the windows. The upper hand, like you're drawing a bow from your hip, draws the arm back. So the back elbow is reaching back, the back hip is reaching back, the fingertips are reaching forward, we're stretching, and then relax. Coming back to the hands in front of the face, we'll take a breath. Shift your weight towards the windows, pivot, hands float out. Like you're drawing a bow, reaching back. So the back elbow, the back hip reaches away from the fingertips, stretch. And exhale. Pivoting to center, take a breath in. Shift, pivot, reach, and then drawing back. Elbow, hip, reaching away from the fingertips. Relax. One more time. Breath in. Weight shift and pivot. Extending out. Drawing back, reaching through the elbow, through the hip. Stretch. Relax. The hands come back. Fingertips point down. Reaching down towards the earth. Your chin can come towards your chest. And then here, as you inhale, reach your fingertips down. You can come off your heels if that's available to you. And then exhale. Weight shift and pivot. Inhale, the hands come up, and then out. Follow the momentum of the hands as they come back, out, and up. Shifting the weight forward, the palms are back to back. Shift your weight into the back leg, pull your fingertips back, look towards the ground, stretch. Shift your weight forward. Pressing down through the hands, through that front foot, opening through the chest, stretching, and then return. Palms back to back, fingertips towards the ground, chin towards the chest, reach the fingertips down, maybe the heels come off the ground, and relax. weight shift and pivot. Hands come up. And then out. Weight shift. Rocking back. Arms reaching out and up. Weight shift. Palms back to back. Stretch. Weight shift into the back leg. Fingertips pull back. Looking down. And then weight shift forward. Press through the hands. Front foot. Extend. And return. Take your time, breathe as much as you need to. Extend the fingertips down towards the earth, chin towards the chest, stretch, relax, weight shift. In, out. In, out. In, out. Breathe naturally. Fingertips reach down towards the ground, chin towards the chest, stretching the upper back. And then relax, weight shift, pivot, in and out. In and out. In, out. Stretch and relax. Next movement. Nice and easily, we'll bring our hands up through the midline to about the base of the ribs, and then send them out towards the mirrors. And then the hands circle out, and we can step out to the side, like we're drawing the hands across. Bring the feet together. The hands reach up and back. And then sink. Hands come down and around, in and out. Take a breath. In, bottom of the ribs out towards the windows, stepping out, step together, in and out. In, out. Taking a breath. In, out. Stepping out. In, out. In, out. Take a breath. In, out. In, out. In, out. Breathing. Now we can take our feet a little bit wider than hips width, maybe shoulder width, feet facing out a little bit. Bring our hands around to the belly, and then let's, again, come up to the lower ribs. Exhale, send the hips back, The knees bend as deep as is comfortable. Inhale, the arms come out, palms together, and then send the hands up. Keep inhaling, stretch. Exhale. In. Out. In. Stretch. Out. One more time. In. Out. In. Out. Whew. Let's do one more movement. So we'll bring this arm around and the foot can come in with it. And then this arm and the foot can come in with it. So we're actually just a little bit pigeon-toed with our feet. So from here, we'll make a horizontal kind of circle with the hands. So we can circle horizontally. And now we'll make a vertical circle. So up and back. And then send the hips back. The hands come down just as low as is comfortable. Feel free to bend your knees, fingertips towards the ground. And then we'll inhale, fingertips forward, look forward. Exhale. Inhale, roll up the front of the body, all the way to the chest. And then exhale, hips and hands away from each other. Fingertips towards the ground. Inhale, fingertips forward, gaze forward. Exhale. Inhaling up to the lower dantian. Relax. Horizontal circle. Vertical circle. Inhale forward. Exhale. Inhale, rolling up to the chest, and then exhale. Hips back, weight in the heels. Inhale forward and out. Inhale up to the lower dantian. Relax. One more time. Inhale. Vertical. In and out. In and out. In and out. Inhale up to the lower dantian. Just resting, bringing your awareness to your alignment, to your feet on the ground, breathing wide into the biofield all around you, using gravity to extend up away from gravity, through the base of the skull, through the backside of the rib cage. Lifting the ribs and the base of the skull away from the hips, the lower back, the shoulders, the neck. Finding that space, that stretch as you inhale, and seeing if you can maintain even just a little bit of that as you exhale. Bring the hands around the waist. Down. And then let's shake it out. relaxing a little bit. Rub our palms together. We can massage our face up and down a couple times. Back and forth over the top of the head. Down the base of the neck and around. Over the chest, lower ribs, and belly. Around the waist to the lower back. Let's draw our hands out. Shake them out. We can pat up one arm. And down. Up the other arm. And down. And then around and down, back of the body. Up the front. And again, around and down. And up the front. A little bounce, a little shake. Let's do a couple sighs of relief, maybe with a gathering breath and an exhale sigh of relief. So inhale. Two more. One more. And then breathe. Breathe with every cell of your body. Feel the exchange of qi. Feel the nourishment coming in. Feel the nourishment going out. Right. Great. Thank you. Thank you for your practice. Any questions about anything we did? We did a lot. Okay. It's funny. I think the person who requested the Ma Huang Dui just stopped coming back after we started the Ma Huang Dui. That's funny. But that's okay. But I hope that you had a nice class. Those first 10 mindful movements are really nice, so you might want to check into those. Let me know if you want a recording of this video, and you could probably find them on YouTube, I would imagine, maybe. 10 mindful movements are what they're called by Thich Nhat Hanh. They're very easy, gentle, sweet, some of them easier than others, but it's a really nice kind of maybe even a warm-up into meditation, or maybe something after meditation to kind of loosen up. But, the mindful movements, really everything with Qigong is so much about harmonizing the breath and the movement, which really helps to focus our mind on what's happening right now, which can be very calming, and just spacious. So it's a really wonderful exercise if you'd like to continue on with that one. And we can continue on with it here as well. All right. So thank you.
Requested that. What we've been working on. I'm glad.
Oh yeah.
Requested.
Yeah. Ma Huang Dui is fun. It's involved, but it's a really good form. So we'll keep on with that too, because I think we're not even halfway through. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Right. And thank you all for practicing with me. I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.